Morning. So it's like 6:30 in the morning and I've decided to make a cover for my new journal that I just bought. So I don't have any makeup on. I didn't even brush my hair yet. Still in my pajamas. But anyway, I thought I would share you the process just in case somebody else has a journal that they want to make a cover for. So here we go. So I was at the grocery store and I'd been thinking about doing a planner, but just never really got around to it. Anyway, this was a real cheapie. It was just $6.99, and I hate the color of the paper, but it is what it is. I thought the layout page was cute. So anyhow, but of course the cover is just kind of boring. And so I went through my fabric and I was trying to find, colors that would go with that orange. And that's just not in my color scheme of fabric. And I thought, I don't want to draw attention to it. I'll just try to create around it. So I thought I would cover it in this color. And then I've been wanting to try to do some hand embroidery and some flowers that I've been seeing on Instagram. And so I kind of thought this Osnaburg would work pretty cool. It would look kind of natural. And so my plan is just to do some flowers. So I just kind of did some sketching to see about how big I thought it needed to be. And so there's a great tutorial on how I make book covers that I follow. It's just a little video on YouTube. It's like a 3-minute long video. They do a wonderful job on just how to make a simple book cover. And so that's what I'm going to use. And I think before I assemble the pockets on the cover, I'll just go ahead and try to attach my stitching after the fact. So I just thought I would share with some preliminaries, and we'll see what I come up with. Hope you're having a good day. I'll be back. Okay, so I have made my little book cover for my journal, and I just have cut a piece of, I think it's pronounced Osnaburg. Anyway, it's just a real kind of rough texture fabric. And then I just grabbed some DMC colors, and they're showing up a lot brighter than they really are. I tried purposely to find some more subtle shades so that it wouldn't be super crazy. And now my inspiration is something I got off of Instagram. It looked like the person's Instagram name, handmade.embroidery. Anyway, I just thought that was super pretty, the stitching on it. And I thought I would try to come up with something like that on my journal cover. So I've just kind of picked a piece a little bit bigger than I feel like I need, because I think I'll fray the edge. And then I'm just going to use a real big stitch to attach it. And I think in theory, it would have been better to do this first, I think, before I sewed the actual pocket. But anyway, I've done it before, and I feel like it's something I can accomplish. And I noticed also that you might have to do a little bit different figuring from the tutorial I talked about if you have a spiral bound book. But anyway, I just opened it up and tightened it up a little bit. And so, anywho. So now the part of trying to figure out how I'm going to draw on my fabric. I think I'm just going to use a pencil and just try to make sure I stitch on the line. But anyway, I thought I would show you the beginning and then we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, well, I've started making a couple flowers and I'm kind of excited about it. For the first time I've ever done it, I think it's progressive. And then I think in the center of those flowers I'll just put some French knots. So basically just coming up, making a loop, going down right next to it, and then just tacking down the end of the petal. So anyway, it's something fun. You should try it. Okay, so I'm just coming up, making kind of a loop, and I go down right next to where I came up, and then I just decide how big I want my petal to be. So I've just been going a little bit bigger than 1/4 of an inch. Pull my thread. So now you've got just a little loop, and then go right on the other side of that thread so that you're going to anchor down your petal. Okay, and then come back up, gonna just go back down right next to where you came up, decide about how far you want your petal to be, and pull your thread. Then you're just going to anchor it on the other side of your floss. Okay? Then we're basically just going to keep doing that all the way around the little circle. But yeah, it's just a little stitch just to anchor it. And so far, that's how it's going. It was funny, I thought, well, I should go get my tripod and set it all up, and I ended up, I just have the phone hanging off the edge of the TV tray. And it worked. You don't have to be fancy. And then like on this one, I kind of went a little bit too far apart. So I might keep going and see if I have to come back in there and fill in another one. But maybe that petal fell off in the breeze. Now I've not really taken any class, or I don't even think I've watched many videos. I've just kind of watched them on Instagram, some of those little videos that they will show. So there's probably a more scientific way to do this. And I know I probably should have drawn the picture out on my fabric. But I wasn't sure if I'd be able to follow my lines, so I thought it would be safer just to go without lines. Freeform. So anyway, so I'll go do some more and see what else I can come up with. Okay, so I've been making a few French knots, and so if you've never done that, you're going to come up in the area where you want the French knot to be, pull your thread all the way to the end, and then you're going to wrap around your needle. Now the first time I did this one, it was 4 wraps around, which I thought was too much, so then I did the other ones with just 3 wraps around. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, pull your needle to go right back down where you came up at. Sorry, I lost it. 1, 2, 3, pull your needle back to where you came up, and then you want to hold this tight. I mean, not tight, but you want to hold on to that end so you don't get a wonky French knot. Sorry, it's hard to hold this where I can see and you can see. And then when you pull it down, you got a French knot. So I'm just basically trying to fill up this center with a bunch of French knots. 1, 2, 3. Back down where I came up at. Anyway, so that's some French knots. I don't know if it would have been wise to just maybe do satin stitches in the center, just to kind of cover up the fabric so that the spaces wouldn't show up that much. I don't know if anybody does embroidery. Leave a comment. But I guess it is filling up pretty good. Boy, that first one I made is huge. I should have pulled it out. But you know me, I don't unstitch. Maybe I'll just take my thread and try to pull it down some more. Well, and then I tried doing that, and now I got my thread stuck. But anyway, so that's what the centers are looking like. I'll try to get this knot out of here and see what else I can come up with. Okay guys, so I'm back, and to tell you the truth, I couldn't even really tell you how I made the stems. I've just been moving my needle around and trying to make some stems. But anyway, I like the way my little leaves are turning out, and it's basically the exact same stitch that I did for the petals, which I believe is called a lazy daisy stitch. But then I just took and put one more stitch in the center just to kind of fill it up. So let me see if I can try to make one here. Whoops. Jeez, hold on. Okay, so I've just come up beside my stem, and I'm going to go back down right by where I came up, and then I'm just going to move my needle out to decide how big I want my little petal, or in this case a leaf. And then I'm going to tack it down. And then I'm going to come back up where I came the first time, basically. And going to go down inside the petal or the leaf. And so that's basically how I did some leaves. So I figure I'll just work my way up the stem and see what we come up with. But I really am liking the little flower. I think it turned out kind of cute. And I mean, they're not perfect, but they don't need to be because this is a journal cover, right? Okay, I'll go try to figure out some more stuff. I guess I should really watch some tutorials. Okay, so I'm back and I've done the stitching that I plan on doing. I just decided to finish this one up. I thought, well, I could do some other flowers on it, but I think overall I'm happy with the way it turned out. I wasn't happy, however, with the flimsiness of this fabric. It's kind of like a homespun brushed cotton type of fabric. Anyway, it's real flimsy. So I cut a piece of batting and just stuck it in here just to give it a little bit of body. So my plan is I just frayed the edge and I'm just going to do a little running stitch along the edge just to adhere it onto my journal cover. And then I found some of this lace that I got from the thrift store. And so I'm just going to do a running stitch along it also just to attach it. I thought to cover up my, well, I don't know if I'm going to try to cover up my stitches or what, but I thought this little bit of ribbon would kind of jazz it up a little bit. So once I do that, I thought a little yo-yo on top would be cute. So I had some coffee tea dyed muslin from a project, so I just cut a little circle off of it, and I found a cute little button I thought would go on there, and then just a couple other buttons. So my plan was to put that there, and then I found a bulb pin, a little scissor charm, and some more little buttons, and I thought those could go up to the top here. And then I have some little twine that I use for scrapbooking, and so I thought I would tie a little bow up there. So that's the plan in theory. Hopefully it all goes together well, and I'll come back with a finished product. All right, everybody, what do you think? I was able to get the lace sewn on. I got that little button put on there on top of the yo-yo. Oh, I forgot to put the little twine on there. Shoot, just a second. Okay, so got the little bit of twine on there. I don't know, that might need to be a little bit smaller. Maybe a little smaller bow. But anyway, I'm excited with how it turned out. And now I need to start writing in it. That's one of my worst things. I don't ever do it. But you heard it here. I'm going to try. So anyway, thanks for coming along with me on my journey on making my journal cover. So overall, I'm happy with how it turned out. It actually didn't take very long at all. And so I might have to make some other notebooks that I won't write in. Anyway, hope y'all are having a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.